So back to you.
Mhm.
As an AI strategist, oh, this is an exciting question.
Mhm.
As an AI strategist, what excites you the most, and what concerns you about the direction that AI is heading in?
Mm. What excites me the most is I used to have my own company in Norway, and this is before AI became big. So around 2017, I had a consulting company, and it was just one man company, and I was selling consulting projects, and I was bidding against big companies like Accenture and IBM. And for one of them, I had a data migration where two companies were merging, and I had to load all the information, all the SAP and all the ERP data from one company to company, from company A to company B system. Now, to do this, I decided to build, at the time I called it bots, which
They
are the
are,
same thing as agents.
yeah.
And I built 5 bots that work together to do this thing, whole thing themselves. And at the time, I remember I had 3 different laptops with the 5 bots running, where they would communicate with each other mistakes, and they all had a different step of the process. And this thing we were given 8 hours to execute, and then other competitors we had at the time said they could not do it in 8 hours, they needed more time. And the bots were able to complete in 3 hours with 99.9% accuracy. And I took a photo of that, and that made people very excited. It's like, oh, wow, look what this is able to do. And that's what makes me excited about AI. It's about the workforce we could generate to do tasks that liberate us to do more exciting tasks, especially the administrative task. So that's what I see it.
That's a nice way to put it. It using the AI agents as tools
Mhm.
liberates us to do more interesting things, more creative
Exactly.
things, right? Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good way to put it.
Because what I did there, I had the 5 bots running, and I was just watching the computer screens do the work. And when I would see a mistake, I go, wait a minute, I think this means this. I haven't thought about this before. I would supersede the bot to stop the action and then do a different one. But I was more thinking. I was thinking everything that could go wrong as opposed to doing data entry and
This sounds very similar to something I'm working on back at base actually. They have me working on robotic process automation now, so to automate certain tasks daily. For a daily task that they have to submit around 8 a.m. to their own supervisors. My supervisors have to submit something to their supervisors, right? And this is like a preset 10 to 20 different email addresses in one email.
Mhm.
That's like a lot of people that who are receiving this one email, right? So it's and I'm the one who's the core developer programming the RPA to do these certain tasks, and they involve like Outlook, Excel, and a shared online drive, right? So uh, I I I am I'm beginning to understand what you mean by they value the ability to explain the complicated terminology in layman terms, because I literally just had a presentation like the day before yesterday to my supervisors explaining what the automation does to them in a simple way, yet still showing them visually what it looks like on the software. So they're seeing how complicated it is, but I'm also explaining to them in the way that they understand. So
Mhm.
it's quite exciting to do.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically a macro, but then you put some intelligence too.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. So the second half of that question was, what concerns you about the direction that AI is heading?
Yeah, what concerns me is I would say that there's a fear about what the future holds, and they're going to pass governing rules, laws that will then really could cripple its progress. So that really takes we really need to think a bit further, think ahead, not just immediately what's going to happen, but think ahead in 5, 10, even 20 years, what direction is going to make sure that where we pass is really it's going to be beneficial for humanity. Um, yeah, I would say that. Another part I see is that we're starting to get lazy on us
As
thinking,
mentioned,
putting effort, mental effort, and we are letting the AI do the work, and we're starting to become a little bit more leisure about it.
can't do that.
No, we need to, in the end, still be the ones that have the power and then say what it does and why.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like all those science fiction movies that talk about AI taking over humanity, right? Honestly, I believe that this is it's a bit of good hard advice to give to people
Mhm.
that don't get too lazy and leisure about your tasks and your everyday
Mhm.
experiences and let AI do too many things, because then
Mhm.
what the movies are talking about, it wouldn't be AI's initiative to take over humanity, it would be humanity's initiative to let AI take over humanity.
Yeah, because in the end, especially things that are being developed now, you still have a human at the end that signs off on it. It has
Exactly.
to prove something has
The
been
human element needs
done.
to stay very strong
Hmm.
in all the processes that AI is involved in.
Hmm.
So that's important, guys. All right. Do you think AI tools can help enhance how we express ourselves or connect with others? I believe you already mentioned the app that they use to correct their speeches. So what other AI tools do you think can enhance our expression, how we express ourselves and how we connect with
Yeah,
others?
definitely. I think to understand each other is one of them. Uh, we could use AI tools to help us understand each other, what is really meant by something, because we all have a certain bias. So it will help us understand maybe other aspects of it.
It actually from my experience,
Hmm.
it would take a very strong and highly trained sentiment analysis model to help with that actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it could still under like one thing you could do, for example, on ChatGPT, you could feed a chat, a group chat, and I've done this before for TMCS, and then it could analyze by phone number, so it doesn't have the person's name, and it could figure out, okay, these people are kind of setting the tone down, these people are bringing it up. It could figure that out, and it could understand the effect it has over long term.
Well, I mean, no offense when I say this, but what I'm taking from this is it could actually be helpful for the people on the spectrum, right?
Mhm.
Those who are not completely aware of how conversations going on WhatsApp or in a live conversation, they could go back and reflect using this method.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for me, like I'll give you an example. For me, why it's socially challenging for me. I'm in a culture that's not my own that I didn't grow up. So after I left Canada, I've been in so many different countries, and they're quite different each. That I needed to adapt quickly to how the communication norms are there.
Just curious, I
Mhm.
digress a little bit. Which year did you move from Canada to the next country? Which
Yeah,
which ones? America,
20,
is it?
2010, I left.
Canada,
I left Canada. Yeah, 10.
2010.
Yeah.
That actually would have been I would have been about primary one.
Well,
Yeah, around there. Cool,
and
cool.
I'll give you one example here. Um, in North America,
Yeah.
when we sell anything you want to sell, you always only show the good. You never show the bad. Actually, they would say that you're a bit, maybe you're not so intelligent if you even say anything bad about your product.
But
You
that's a
should only
good thing though.
focus. Hmm?
It's a good thing to show both sides, right?
Now that's the thinking, yes. So that was coming from the North American mindset. When I moved to Europe and I was doing this, they call it American style of presenting yourself. People resisted it. They went against it. They wanted to hear equal, both good and bad.
So that they can get the whole picture before they
They
move
they
forward
get
with
to,
the
they
product.
get to decide what they believe about it. If
Right,
I tell
right.
them the good and the bad.
So you give them all the information and data so that they can make their fully informed decision.
Exactly. Like let's say right now you go to fintech, let's pretend,
Right.
and you see a booth with KPMG. Let's just do an example. They're an American company. If you're to ask them anything about, oh, what's wrong with this, your project, or what are the limitations you found with the AI implementations, they will tell you nothing. I'm telling you, go try it yourself. They won't tell you anything goes wrong. They're only going to tell you the good things, and then the limitations. They might just say trivial things that maybe everybody encounters in life, but they won't tell you the specifics.
Say they are presenting a product. Taking this example, say this company
Yeah,
is presenting a product, and I test it right in front of them, and I find a bug,
yeah,
and I tell them about it
yeah,
right in front of them
yeah.
on the spot,
Yes.
right? What would their response be? Because I
They'll
wouldn't know.
they'll say that they'll have to come back to you. The person that knows about that is not in the room right now.
All right.
Hmm. That's what they'll say.
Then what if I poke a little bit and say and ask them, um, since this is a bug, shouldn't users know about this bug if you're selling it to them, so that they're aware of it
They
before
won't
when they're
admit
using it?
there's a bug. They'll first say that um, they'll need to come back to you because this is maybe a test system or beta.
Ah,
It's not a real production system because they're not allowed to
those are
show
safe
you.
replies.
Yeah, they'll
Those
say
those,
something like that to
those
you.
are safe
But the
responses.
point is, the North American approach is not to tell you the negative. When you go to Europe, especially when I was living in Norway, I was taking this approach, only showing the good. They feel they don't trust you. They need to see the bad.
That's
They
interesting.
need you to take the initiative and show them the bad.
That's interesting.
They don't want you. They don't want to ask about the bad. So if you show both equally, then they want to do business with you. More likely, they want to do business with you.
That's enlightening.
Very different for North
That's very
America.
enlightening.
Yeah. And then you go to Singapore, also different way of approaching it. So there's
What's your take on Singapore's approach?
Singapore's approach. They have thought about the bugs and they have an answer for it up to 3 levels of why usually.
Ah,
North America, they only have the first why covered.
all right, all right. This further strengthens my initial idea to go work in the UK. Yeah, I'm hoping to get
UK?
get
Oh
the
yeah,
opportunity to
UK.
work in the UK.
They have a
The
saying
career
that the
starts.
world comes to to England because they have business from all over the world in the
Yeah,
UK.
I quite like England. I've been to England a lot in my life. Yeah,
Mm.
I have family there too. Okay, next question
Hmm.
is oh, this is interesting.
Hmm.
In a world run by algorithms,
Uh-huh.
what human qualities will always matter?
Hmm. Yeah. The yeah. I mean, tonality is hard to figure in algorithms. So we often use a tonality to help us understand maybe intentions behind something,
Mm.
right? When you speak to somebody you don't know on the street, a stranger, you approach them, they're first assessing the way you sound to understand if you're safe or not safe.
Like if someone approaches you with an aggressive tone, that's unsafe. If
Unsafe,
someone approaches you with a soft tone, that's safe.
yes. Safe, yeah, exactly. We're first checking if it's safe or not safe to speak to this person. And it could be also unsafe because maybe somebody could be trying to scam you, which is not an aggressive tone, but still feels unsafe because it doesn't feel sincere
I
or honest.
I think the word that the youth would understand is the vibe that
The
they get,
vibe,
the vibe that they get from the other person.
exactly. It is a vibe.
Good
That's a
vibes
perfect
or
word.
bad vibes.
Exactly.
All
So
right.
that's important for us when we make our decisions. Uh,
Yes.
it's hard for algorithm to show that because it's a faceless responsibility. Like if it's really trying to do some harm to you, who's responsible for it? Not that computer program.
Hmm.
There's no consequences for it.
Zeros and ones can't fight against vibes, guys. Vibes is
Yeah,
still quite
vibes.
natural.
Yeah, that's something that
Zeros and ones can't do that.
they cannot do. That vibes.
All right,
Yeah, it's
cool,
very
cool.
important in human interaction. Vibes. Hmm.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah, I would say emotional intelligence. And there'd be different factors. There's going to be situations that raise your emotions. It could be conflict. That's the most obvious one. And it could be rejection. It
right.
could be knowing how to say no.
I actually I'd like to share this with everyone. It's a nice example to share. It just occurred to me. So I know what rejection is like because well, people can get rejected all the time for relationships, job applications, and many other things, right? So I find that a good example to reference and understand rejection is like painkillers, right? The more rejection you go through and you face, it's not the same as failures. It's rejection is slightly different. It's like taking too many of the same painkillers or tablets and you grow a tolerance to it, right? So it means it doesn't affect you anymore,
Hmm.
correct? So something similar to that, if one experiences rejection a certain number of times, they start to just get immune to it and it doesn't affect them anymore. And from my perspective, it makes one stronger.
Hmm.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Rejections, I mean, will make you also more wiser about why you got
Yes,
rejected.
wiser as well. Wiser as
Yeah.
well.
So then people usually avoid to continue going for those opportunities that they're going to get rejected.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's, yeah.
But you start off with emotional intelligence. That is a very powerful phrase that a lot of people are always interested to get to know more about emotional intelligence.
I would say that I forgot to mention that that's the what I learned the most from the TMCS presidents is about this topic, because at work you don't get the opportunity to make mistakes,
Right.
so you don't get to really process the emotions you have behind things that have happened. You don't get to speak about it with
So
people, and
TMCS is a medium for one to do that.
yeah, you learn it very quickly. You have, yeah, as
That's a
president,
nice.
you
That's nice
you
thing.
learn a lot of it. Yes, you learn about other people's emotional intelligence too. For example, the number one reason why somebody quits on TMCS is the following: they they have a negative experience, so they go on stage, maybe they blank out, and they had a bad speech, and they just feel people they didn't clap for them, and they felt like they sucked. You won't see them again. It's about 90% of the time they won't see them again ever. They won't come back.
And my experience, this has never happened before.
Hmm?
Every session I go for, every speaker gets an applause.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if the person feels
That oh,
they did
okay,
bad,
okay.
like maybe they blanked out, yeah, people always clap at TMCS. But if that person feels they
So
had failed,
their personal perspective is important.
yeah, very important. And now how they handle it, a lot of people cannot handle it, especially something like public speaking. It's a big fear, so you won't see them again. So often when we see this, what we learn to do is that that person just had a bad experience. We immediately approach them and speak to them, because we know that if we don't speak to them on the spot, we'll never see that person again. It's
That's true. That's
yeah, we
true.
speak to them and we counsel them and
I think
on it.
this has a lot to do with not only emotional intelligence, but the foundation of mental strength, right? It's a bit to do with courage as well, but mental strength as well. Like, sure, I've been on stage myself a few times before, and some have gone well, some haven't gone well, but I always come off the stage and immediately just start reflecting. I'm not sure if that's the same for everyone else, but for me, there's only one instance in which I ever blanked out, and I didn't negatively ponder over it. Sort of like I didn't I didn't get depressed or whatever over it. I just reflected about it and was like, what went wrong? What could I have done better for the next speech?
There's a significant percentage of people that when they have a bad experience, they try to forget about it. They try to put it aside and not think about it, because the emotions it brings up, they don't want to deal with it.
They're
So
scared
that
of those.
hmm?
They're scared.
Scared, they just don't. It's not positive. So, for example, people on average, they want to do something that's more fun and meaningful as opposed to something that feels negative. So
Oh,
the vibes, if the vibes are negative, you don't want to spend time there.
it's outside their comfort zone. Is that a
It's
is that
more
a
that's
right?
negative. If the vibes are negative, they maybe don't want to deal with it, or don't want to be part of it.
Okay, that's it's a simple way to put it. All
Yeah.
right.
So if they went on stage, they blanked out, and it just feels negative, just the fact that they failed, they could either, yes, if it's really important to them, they could spend the time reflecting. But if it was not important enough, they'll just say, I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's just a negative experience for me. It's more
Okay.
like that. But to be able to read that in people, to understand how people feel emotionally, how do you feel emotionally, how you come off to others, that emotion intelligence there, that's important. That's you learn a lot that when you do the roles,
Okay.
leadership roles at Toastmasters.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
explaining this. That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Cool.
Hmm.
I have been enlightened. All right. Cool. Okay. On to the last segment, which is the reflection and takeaways.
Hmm.
So, um, this is to leave the audience inspired with some final thoughts. What's your reflections on your lifelong learning and curiosity so far?
Yeah, my lifelong, so my dreams were to travel the world, work
Right.
around
Same
the
dream
world, and
here.
get, yeah. And then my curiosity is people. I'm very curious about people. I really enjoy learning about different societies. And even when I'm just on something as simple as a bus in a new country, I just look at the people sitting on the bus, how they socialize, what's
Observation.
observation, how they interact, what's going out outside the windows. So that to me is something I truly enjoy, especially here in Singapore. You get to see a lot of that. Different neighborhoods I go in Singapore to me feels like a trip to a different country. And
Oh,
so that's
your career, your 23 different countries involved career is it's my target career as well.
I've traveled 95. I've worked in 23 physically.
Ah,
When you work somewhere, you get to see a different part of the culture. One thing's to go as a tourist and see how things work, but then one thing's to work there professionally and learn how people
I'm just to
operate.
touch into this a little bit because of my
Mhm.
personal curiosity.
Uh-huh.
In what job role were you able to work in these 23 different countries? Under what job role?
Consulting.
Consulting.
As I was doing SAP consulting.
Okay, so they funded you to go to these different countries and work with other people.
Yeah, you do global implementations, especially when you do mergers and acquisitions is a big one. You have to physically go there and speak to the people and make sure that you coordinate all the all that needs to be done for this to be a success.
This really tells me that the workplace values uh, the educational intelligence and the speaking skill as well, the communication skill.
Yeah, communication
The
is important.
combination of both is important.
I've had to do it sometimes when they don't speak English and I had translators.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, that was cool. But because I memorized all the screens on the an SAP, I knew what to point and I learned just those few. I was in French this when this happened. I had to memorize a few French words and just explain it to there's this bread factory in a French speaking
All
town.
right,
And
interesting.
yeah, so that to me was yeah.
We gotta have a different another conversation about the different countries you've traveled in. I
Mhm.
want to hear more about them later
Mm.
on.
What was the
Okay.
second part of
Yeah.
that question? I think.
Oh, the second part was just my I added it in, which was uh your what do you think your future in the next 10 years looks like,
My future next 10
if you
years.
want to talk about it.
Yeah, I would say,
So, what does your future for the next 10 years look like? Since we've spoken about your reflections,
hmm, yeah, my future next 10 years. I want to help companies shape the way they use AI. Yeah,
that's I can resonate with that.
yeah, I want to be more influential with that. So that's why public speaking is important.
All right.
So then you learn about a topic and then you can voice.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we came across each other in the professional workplace at some point in the
I
future.
hope we do.
We might
Hmm.
actually. I foresee that we might.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because contrary to belief, to common belief, I both enjoy being the guy in a hoodie sitting behind a laptop doing the programming
Hmm.
and talking to the business owners, to the customers as well. So I like to communicate and do the call work.
Hmm.
So it's quite interesting for me to do both, and I like to do both. I learned that about myself during my internship. Yeah,
Mm.
it was a bit of self-discovery. I found that I like to talk to people, my supervisors, a lot more, and just have a quiet 5 to 6 hour deep work time every day. That's also quite fun.
Mm.
Okay, so a little bit of final advice for youth balancing personal growth, confidence, and technology.
Yeah, advice. Mm.
Three aspects that a lot of people are trying really hard to get the hang of before they enter their workplace, or when they're already in their workplace.
I advise that they find a niche market that suits them, that they enjoy, that they believe in. If you go into something that everybody's doing, like let's say investment banking, you're going to be in a competitive,
Very competitive.
very competitive environment where you might not get as many opportunities to grow. It's going to be quite limiting. You're just going to be just thrown into the water and forced to
Survive.
yeah,
To flap around and survive.
and it might affect you if you do not succeed. It might affect you. It might affect your ability to want to grow, to believe in yourself. So I highly recommend to start in a niche market, develop your skills there. And then from there, if you want, you could go to other industries. Like, let's say you want to go in investment banking. That would be my advice.
All right. So, yeah, Vlad has shared a really good quote on communication and courage. So I'm going to write that down later on and put it in the description for everyone to refer to. I'm going to refer to it to every day. It's quite interesting.
Mm.
It put me right up. Then he describes moments when AI has helped him. The pros and cons of AI tools, we went into that as well. And this is, I guess, a good call to action for everyone to hear is that if you've ever feared speaking up, whether on stage or in life, both equally important, this episode is for you. I think
Yes.
that about sums it up,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Vlad, for
Thank
coming.
you, Mir. Appreciate it.
For being on this episode. I think everyone will be very, very happy to hear this episode and learn from you as well.
Yes, thank you. It was a
Myself
great
as well.
experience. You're very professional.
Oh, thank you.
And
I'm always looking
well
to improve
done.
that part.
Yes, I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you. It was a pleasure.
And thank you for hosting me at your condo. It's a beautiful
Yes.
view here.
Yeah, corals at Keppel Bay.
Yeah. If you guys let me know if you guys are here and we can meet also
Yes.
as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Look forward to the next episode with the next guest is a surprise as well. I'll introduce the next guest in the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.